Okay, alle ready to rock? Mikro auch vom Mund ist.
So, jetzt müsste mir nur noch einer sagen, bin ich in der Galerie?
Hello.
Hi there.
Hey guys.
Hello. How are you?
Hi guys.
Everyone's there. Maggie's there.
All right.
Ricardo, Ivan, Luca, Marcelo.
Oh, I see. We can skip there. Like we can move here. This little bar on top. Okay.
Okay, is everyone connected with sound? Can you hear and see?
Big thanks for your performance and taking part in the Imagination Song Contest. It was a pleasure to see your videos and hear your songs.
Thank you.
And you did extremely well. That's the reason why you won.
Yes.
It was fun.
It was fun?
It was fun. It was
Challenging.
difficult.
Is
Was
it
it
a-
something, did you, prior to the contest, did you know how to play the song on the harp already?
Oh,
Or-
no. Then found out there was more time, but to be honest, I thought I didn't have a chance, so I didn't bother re-recording.
Well, it was fancy enough, I think, in the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
I just,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually something I wanted to ask about. Why Bright Eyes? What made you choose that song and not the others?
Bright Eyes, maybe because it's the easier song for us to play, and so we had only 1 week to arrange the song and play and record. It was my favorite song of the album for me, and I proposed to the other guys to play this song.
Yes, it's the first release for us.
Okay.
The release was just 1 month ago.
Wow.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
So perfect timing.
But we are working on the second one. Now.
What else can you do at the moment?
Yes. Also, you are recording the new one.
We did already. We finished the recordings. It's just about
Oh.
mixing, and yeah.
Yes, it's
For
very
us,
difficult too.
For us, yes, it was difficult, but like every first album, it's always difficult to
Yes.
you have to learn a lot about promotion, about everything else rather than music. It's always a bit of a shock to have to work at the beginning. You have to compose like 80% of the time and rehearse. Then you switch from this very musical approach to a more promotional, but also content creation.
And Maggie, I have to say one thing, because I was following the votings every day, and you were the only one leading from the first day.
Wow.
Nobody came close to you. in your group, I mean. That was really wow.
To deliver a good video in the end was to me I have been very moved by your performance.
thank you. I used to do a lot of where I would arrange like stuff that you don't expect to hear on the harp. Like I did a lot of kind of metal songs, and I do video game music and different things like that. And so when the contest came up and it said creative interpretations of the songs, I thought, well, that's what I do. So I don't have an album. I don't compose. I don't write anything original, but I feel like I'm pretty good at arranging. So it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it.
If you say you do video game music or metal stuff on the harp, do you normally record that for yourself at least, or you just play it, arrange it, and then?
Both. I have a YouTube channel that's got quite a few videos on it, but most of the time I just play it for myself. Because I figure, I don't know, no one cares. I guess. Yeah,
I don't think so. Not after the contest. I'm pretty sure that more people care now.
Do you play professionally? Is this that you teach harp, or do you play in an orchestra?
All of the above. I went to college for harp. I've got 3 degrees in performing on the harp specifically. So I play with orchestras. I teach. Play with ensembles. I don't do a lot of like wedding gigs anymore. I used to do a lot of that. But yeah, mainly orchestra and teaching now is most of what I do.
So if we continue with Blind Guardian Orchestra project one day, when we need a good harp player, we know where to find it.
Yes, you do.
Can I just be curious for a little bit and ask how long does it take you to tune the harp, all the strings? Is it usually that it gets detuned easily, or is it stable and like a piano that you don't have to touch it that much?
Oh no, you have to tune all the time. There's a saying that harpists say: we spend half our lives tuning and half of our lives playing out of tune.
I see.
It's like anything, moving it, the weather, a Tuesday, it doesn't take anything for it to go out of tune. So I basically tune it every time I play. But after years and years and years of doing that, you get pretty fast at it. It's not, doesn't take too long. I tune by ear, so I don't have to drag out a tuner and all that. What did you ask?
How many strings do you have on that harp?
This one's got 47, which is the biggest.
47.
This is what we use in like orchestra and stuff. And this one's got 34, I think. I use it for more like Irish Celtic music.
Difficult to say. I mean, we did lots of experiments with orchestra, and I think the absolute climax was the Twilight Orchestra.
There are limits, I think, also. You know, we tried a lot of it, but if you really want the orchestra to shine, you have to make a lot of compromises with the band, because, you know, distorted rhythm guitars demands a lot of space, so do lead guitars, vocals, and it's all electrified. So involving an orchestra is definitely an extra exercise. All these computer game-based score music is so intense and so great without having the metal band involved. I think the less orchestrated the music is, and power metal in many ways can be very orchestrated, the easier it is to involve the orchestra. So if you just play with, let's say, a typical rock and roll band, you have like down-tuned guitars, maybe, which just keep their focus on rhythm guitars and then have only one vocalist, then there's a lot of space for the orchestra. But if you do rich music, for example, like Blind Guardian does, then I think we brought it really far. And right at the moment, I agree with Andre. I would not know to go from, you know, where we were at with Legacy of the Darklands and Beyond the Red Mirror.
Yeah.
In fact, that's why I switched to the distorted organ also, because I do not see a lot of perspective in keeping using the orchestra as a keyboards player.
Sorry, Guy, which kind of music do you listen now? And it's different between the one you listened 25 years ago when you wrote Imagination from the Other Side?
Some is, some not.
Yeah,
I still have favorite bands from the old days, and I still listen to the old albums. I think we all like the 70s albums.
Yep.
Maybe I think. Wait, I think you want to know if our influence was different when we did Imaginations from the Other Side, maybe. And I think the biggest impact on that sound was the feeling of life we had. The whole circumstances of that time make a big, a big difference to now. Because with 25, we were going out every weekend, 3 days party, and the whole band music thing was more a fun approach than taking it too serious. It was like, okay, we want to have fun with our friends. We are together all the time. We were always together. That has a kind of synergy that it brings you very close, and you have other kind of ideas than working alone at home, or working with 1-2 people in the rehearsal room in the studio. It's a different outcome. of course, and you cannot reproduce it because the circumstances of the time are different.
And you, Ansi?
It's almost the same music. I think we were more into the metal of the 90s. I remember that we were listening to Pretty Maids and Metallica a lot around that time. And most of these bands we're still listening to, but we're receiving it differently, I think. Back in the days, it was maybe more influential on us. While now we really have established not only our skills, but also the philosophy in creating new music by our own skills. And of course, we are still inspired by stuff. I still listen to Jethro Tull and Queen and also to new stuff.
But only one thing for you. Is my tattoo. I did that 18 years ago, and I show you in a live show in Biella maybe 20 years ago, and I had the pictures with all of you.
So, very cool.
In particular, the lead guitar arrangement, the melody that constantly over the rhythm guitar. I try to do the same on our music. Because
your vocalist will be so happy about it.
Yeah. Yes, he's not happy.
Surprise, surprise. Sing my song.
A question: Do you start often from the vocal line to write the songs, or do you start from the instrumentals and put the vocal line after?
I think most of the time I deliver some instrumental things and present it to Hansi, and he chooses which parts he likes and sings something nice. And then I take the ping pong ball and throw something back on his ideas.
Yeah, then it's usually a build-up. And at the very end, we have an arrangement. And if we're lucky, we then get an idea about the lyrical content. Or sometimes I still have to struggle because I cannot see the direction of that song so clear. And then, as I said, it sometimes is a struggle to find the right words and the right topic. But in general, after a while, we always, have a feeling, well, this is an optimistic song, this is a pessimistic song, there is some light at the end of the tunnel, this is an epic one, a depressive one, whatever. And this usually conducts the direction I choose for the lyrics.
And for a concept album, when you choose the topic, and after then you compose the album, the concept album, or you prepare the songs and after then you choose the track list and after write the lyrics?
You need a bunch of songs. It really depends on the album, but in our case, we at least need a hand of songs composed musically and vocally already before we can say, well, this certainly speaks the same language. That has been the case for Nightfall in Middle-earth. And there we, at that point, also decided, hey, we go for Tolkien. It was a little different for the orchestral album, where we started around the same time when we did Nightfall. So our focus in the beginning was very Tolkien related, but the further we got away from Nightfall, the clearer it got that we may want to do something else in terms of the topic. For this album, it was really clear that there would be a conceptual album, but I think maybe apart from the last two songs we composed, we did not exactly know into which direction that would go. And Beyond the Red Mirror, it was within the production when I finally decided, it makes sense to go for something related to imaginations, because there were similarities in the way the song was structured. But in all cases, apart from Nightfall in Middle-earth, we at that point also decided the running order quite quickly. There was a discussion very long when we decided the running order for Beyond the Red Mirror, whether Ninth Wave would be the first song or Grand Parade. That made it very difficult, you know, because if you compose an album like this and you do not exactly know what the final outcome will be, then to come up with the conclusion of a story is very difficult. So to a certain extent, I was forced to keep these lyrics a little more vague. And for Grand Parade, we even did two different solutions. There are two different lyrical outputs. And the funny thing is, the one we used lyrically is basically the one which was considered to be the one in case Grand Parade would be the opening song of the album. But it turned out to be the better performance. So we just said, forget about it. And we can build it into the context. But the original idea for that context was then this was supposed to be the introduction song of the album.
I'm actually afraid that when the booking is available again, and then all bands that are waiting now and didn't have tours, all of them are jumping at the venues, the same amount of venues, maybe even less, because some of them might have closed due to no income. And all of a sudden, everybody wants their shows to be booked. That will be also a fantastic situation.
Yeah, and it's also all the bands that hold back their albums right now will all release them at the same time. They will tour at the same time. It's going to be interesting.
Well, in the beginning, you know that you can't play your instrument perfect. You know that there's a lot of space to get better, and you rehearse. And as a band, you see, okay, you feel that you are not tight. You rehearse and rehearse to feel that the band is getting better together. And in the same moment, you get a feeling how to get better melodies, how to connect everything in a better way. And by working out this, you learn how to write better songs. You're growing as componists. And but of course, attacking the other bands is always you want to not attacking. Attacking is a bad word, but to catch up, to always see what is state of the art and how can we reach it.
I believe you need that confidence. You know, if you do not believe in what you're doing, it's better not to start.
Oh, no, indeed. By the way, you are the state of the art for us right now. So I am not going to attack you. I am not going to attack you. You can be sure. You're safe. But yeah, I have to say, you are the state of the art for us right now.
To say that our competitors are also our idols, you know, it was, you know, if Andres says Metallica and Maiden, these were the big players, and we admired, or we are admiring their skills and their music.
Yeah.
So I think there is a sort of healthy competition.
Yeah, it's a respectful competition.
Yeah. And it's of course also always connected to inspiration. You know, if there wasn't Maiden or if there wasn't Metallica, there certainly would not be a band like us. Yeah. There were other bands important too, smaller bands like Fate's Warning. But all in all, there is a lot of respect, and of course, we always aim to somehow collect their qualities and make that to something different.
Yeah, and maybe because of the lifestyle, you cannot find really these characteristic guys anymore, or not so often, like in the 70s. I mean, in Ozzy Osbourne, he has such a charismatic presence. He's going to the stage and he's shining. And because he really is living that lifestyle, he's believing in what he's doing, and he's that pure artist. And I miss that in people. Nowadays, it's more about technical things and you learn some things, but that personality is not growing of the musicians, of the artists. I don't see these strong characters anymore approaching on stage like in the 70s and maybe 80s. So I think slowly we have to come to an end because, yeah, we need to continue with our work in the studio. So it was really nice seeing you and chatting with you. And again, I want to thank all of you that you took part in that Imagination Song Contest.
It's our pleasure. We are really excited and proud to be here and chat with you. And we really hope to see you on stage very soon. And
it would be great.
Thanks, Maggie, for joining us. It must be very early for you, I think.
Oh, it's 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay, that's okay. Not too bad, right? Yeah, and just keep on doing what you're doing, all of you. I mean, it was really entertaining for us, and as we figured, people also loved it a lot. You know, not only your participations, but also the ones of the one which turned not out to be 1 or 2 or 3. It was really impressive to see all these contestants and see how much creativity was around.
Okay, so I wish all of you a nice rest of the day and hope to see you live one day, or like maybe when we are on tour, you can message us and we can arrange something that we can meet backstage, something.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you very
much.
much, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Have a nice one.
Bye. Thank you.